Beanie on music review. Yup, it's hipster time. Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Owell, and I'm back at it again with another music review. So today, your local Beanie Boy is talking about Aesop Rock and Tobacco's collaborative project, Malibu Ken, self-titled. This is the debut album between this duo, but both artists have had a decent discography over the years. Aesop Rock has been a giant in the underground hip-hop scene, while Tobacco has a solo career of making beats and being the frontman of electronic psychedelic band Black Moth Super Rainbow. Together, the two artists' styles conjoin to create an amazingly bizarre, off-putting, dark, yet enjoyable aesthetic. A lot of the tracks on here may be far out of left field to listen to, especially for someone who is not familiar with either half's discography. That being said, when one has acquired a particular taste for this kind of stuff, it's top-tier music porn. I am absolutely in love with Aesop Rock's writing and delivery, like I have been for years. He is one of my favorite rappers by far, and Tobacco's fuzzy synth and vocoder-focused production adds a refreshing new element to an Ace record. The two together create this macabre flavor of alternative rock and hip-hop. At times, Tobacco's production can get a tad repetitive, and a few of the beats on here don't have too many moments that really make them stand out as individual instrumentals. However, Aesop's writing and delivery are the breathing heart and soul of this record. Each track on here is made with the same esoteric and eccentric voice that Ace has been known for, each bar requiring quite a few re-listens and re-reads to pin down exactly what he's saying. And thank God for that, because this is my favorite part about any art form: analysis. While this does hinder the album's catchiness and accessibility, I don't think it's to the extent where it makes it unlistenable or ununderstandable. You just have to be a little patient. And even though the lyrics are hard to vibe with off the bat, the beats and flows, the pure sounds coming off this record do provide something that's headbangable and danceable. There are quite a few bangers on here, and, well, let's try to dismantle each track. Starting off, we have Corn Maze, the second single release from this record. Tobacco provides a bouncy synth beat layered with a few fragmented arpeggios that occasionally breaks into vocoder outbursts, with various synth chords and additive sounds adding to that atmosphere. This is most of what Tobacco's production comes off on in this album, but I think that this instrumental is the most heavily realized and the most heavily colorful and tasteful out of this album. Ace raps about how he's a loner, and likes it that way. He goes into his isolation in detail. For me, I think this track sums up the entire theme of the record pretty much, and has the most unique and flavorful production, making it my favorite track. 5 out of 5 on this one, and since I enjoyed it so much, a point of extra credit. Tuesday plays host to a spiky, fizzy synth lead with added drums and other synth sounds as well. Again, a more typical Tobacco-style production on this record. This is my second favorite instrumental on the record, and I think this and Corn Maze are the best banger. Ace raps about, due to his seclusion, his life has become absolutely disgusting. Yet this grossness has become commonplace to him. Every day is just another Tuesday. Add in some theming of nature conquers all, and it's a great piece of Aesop Rock poetry. 5 out of 5 on this one as well. Save Our Ship has yet another typical synth beat from Tobacco, while Aesop describes the current state of our media and country, in a negative context, of course. Painting our world as a ship needed to be saved, either sinking or already sunk. 4 out of 5 on this. Swordbox examines popular musicians and compares them to magicians. Aesop discusses how the current music industry is a racket, and artists only seek to become con artists, tricking their fans out of money and time. 4 out of 5 on this track. Dog Years dissects Aesop's years dealing with fake people and cliques. Tying in with other tracks dealing with isolation, Ace morphs himself into an old dog that no one wants nor needs. He's been in the game a long time, and knows a lot of tricks, but doesn't want to be a part of all the cliques and the disingenuine majority. 4 out of 5 on this track. Acid King was the first single released from this album, and oh man did it get me hyped for this project. A minimalist beat from Tobacco aids in Aesop rock storytelling, and this story is about Ricky Casso, a 17-year-old who murdered his friend over an alleged drug theft. Casso was also rumored to be involved in Satanism and other debauchery, and killed his friend Gary Lowers because Satan told him to, in the form of a crow. Casso hung himself by his bedsheets when he was jailed, and most people wrote off his case as either pure evil or insanity. Yet Aesop, and I for that matter, believe that he was plagued by mental illness. 5 out of 5 on this track. Suicide Big Gulp is another banger with a bouncy beat from Tobacco and probably the most readable lyrics from Aesop on this record. This is a flexing, braggadocious track, and although it displays the most shallow lyricism on this album, the track still has an amazing flow, bounce, bang, bop, and lyricism in comparison to other people in the rap game nowadays. 4 out of 5 on this. 1 + 1 = 13 explores multiple superstitions with another average beat from Tobacco. This track I just thought was meh, just average. It's a slow point on the album with neither side really offering much. It still sounds okay, but it's dry. Nothing really thematic to gain past one idea, and the beat is quite a sleeper. 3 out of 5 on this track. Churro tells the story of a family of bald eagles being watched by a webcam. This song covers a lot of interesting naturalistic themes, including unsatisfied office workers using a video of nature as escapism, the raw and dark side of nature, etc., etc. Aesop includes some hilariously dark tidbits in here as well about the eagles eating a cat to the dismay of cat lovers. Woe is me! 5 out of 5 on this. Purple Moss is the closer to this album, and although it would work well to close out some records, lending itself as this slow, dreamy track, peacefully having the listener exit, I don't think it matches the overall aesthetic that this album is trying to reach. There are some okay sounds on here, and the instrumental shows another side of Tobacco's production, but it overall lacks in any defining moment. 3 out of 5. And that's the end of the album, leaving us to wrap up this review. Overall, Tobacco and Aesop Rock come together to present a very unified, cohesive, and fresh sound in comparison to what's in the rap game right now. Although Tobacco's production can become stale throughout the whole scope of the album, many of his contributions still offer interesting and pleasant instrumentation. Aesop Rock's lyrics are where the album truly thrives, however, bringing down the house with elaborate bars and a whole cornucopia of subject matter. Track scores total up to be 42, plus my 1 point of extra credit, so 43 out of a possible 50. This record has amazing cohesion of sound, but I think the flow could be improved just a bit on the closing track. Maybe have something that matches the aesthetic a bit more, so 9 out of 10 in that area. I didn't give a single track on this album a negative review, so my overall enjoyment of it is a 10 out of 10. Average it all together, and we get a score of 92%. Malibu Ken's self-titled gets an A- from me. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the views that I'm getting on these reviews, and I would appreciate any feedback or anything that you would like to see me review in the future. If you have a suggestion, just leave a comment below, send me a text, something like that, to get the word to me that you want to see my opinion on something. I'll try to throw together a suggested album review maybe in the last few days of January that we have here, or the first week of February. But for now, peace out.